Welcome everyone. My name is Corinne Sanadina. I'm an author of 4 books. I am a Congolese based here in the US. I'm an advocate. My topic that I choose is domestic violence and toxic relationship. Why did I choose the topic? Because I am a survivor of domestic violence. Back in the days, I used to say that I was a victim, but now I realize that I'm not a victim anymore. I am a survivor. I was married for 20 years and I was abused for the entire 20 years. That's why I decided to talk about domestic violence based on my experience because it's something that I went through in my life. I would like to share my experience. And the book I'm holding right now in my hand, it's one of my book. Like I said, I'm an author of 4 books. You can go on Amazon, search it up. My name is Corinne Sanadina. The book I'm holding in my hand, it's The Pain Nobody Saw. It's based on my experience. It's based on what I went through my entire 20 years of being married. In each chapter, you're gonna discover the pain behind my smile, the suffering in silence. Domestic violence is a subject that people don't want to talk about. Domestic violence is a subject that people are avoiding. But let me ask this question. Do we know how many women or how many men out there are dying in silence because they're being abused, because of fear of society, because we are so afraid that people, the judgment that we go through in our daily life, people will judge us based on what we'll tell them. That's why so many people keep quiet. They don't want to share the story. They die in silence. They are suffering in pain. And that was my case. When I went through, I didn't want to tell anybody what I was going through. I kept that to myself. I was dying in silence. I was dying. Every single day was difficult for me. Every single day was painful for me because I didn't have anybody to share my experience. Until you know what? One day, I talked to somebody and the person told me that I was being abused because the entire time I didn't know that I was being abused. I was thinking that it was the normal. But hey, guess what? It was not normal because love is not suffering. Love is not pain. Love is a beautiful thing when you find your match. But if you choose your partner wrongly, that's when love become bitter. That's when love become a burden. That's when we feel like, you know why? Why did I do it? So I would like to encourage somebody today. If you are in the situation that you feel or you think that you are being abused, choose yourself. Decide. Stand up. Look for somebody that you can talk to. Share your experience. Share your pain. Share what you're going through. Don't die in silence. Because you know what? Not only that you are in silence, but you are destroying your life also. Because the stress, whenever the stress builds up, we talk about blood pressure. And whenever we have high blood pressure, it's high. It's high. When the blood pressure is high, it's very difficult to bring it down. That's when we talk about stress. Nobody want to die before the time. In the name of marriage, in the name of relationship. When you feel like your marriage or your relationship is toxic, you have to have a plan B. The lady that is sitting in front of you today went through a lot for 20 years. Out of that marriage, I have 4 kids. But that didn't stop me from having a plan B, for deciding, for thinking, what am I going to do next? Because it was difficult. I didn't know how long I'm going to endure, how long again, how far I'm going to take it. I was tired. I was drained emotionally. I was drained mentally speaking. I was down. But I knew that I needed to do something. Out of my marriage, I have 3 kids and 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. I didn't want my girls to think that this was the normal. I didn't want my kids to think that this was okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. I wanted to break the cycle of abuse. I wanted to break the cycle of thinking that this is how marriage is supposed to be. No, marriage is not abuse. Love is not being a slave in your master house. I was a slave in my master hand. I was a slave in my master house until I decided to free myself. I fought for my freedom. I didn't just sit down around. I didn't just sit down crying. I was looking for options. I was looking for a way to get out. And you know what? It was not easy. It was a long process, a very long process that took me years of thinking, how am I going to get out? How am I going to get out? How am I going to do it? How am I going to start all over? Because the other thing that prevents so many people of living a toxic relationship or a toxic marriage is because we see the year that we spend with that person and we don't want to start over again. It's okay to start over. It's okay to pick up the pieces. It's okay to say that, you know what, I made the wrong choice. It's okay to admit that I made the wrong choice. Now, you know what, I need to think for another plan. I need to think for plan B. I need to better my life. I need to feel myself again. I need to live for me. I was done pleasing my partner. I was done living for my family. I was done for the judgment of society. I chose me. And when I chose me, I decided to live, to take care of myself, take care of my kids, to become the woman that I am today. I'm an advocate, like I said, for domestic violence and toxic relationship. If you are in a relationship that is toxic, if you are going through abuse, think about plan B. I recommend that you buy this book. This book is available on Amazon. And I have another book on Amazon. I have 4 books on Amazon. The other one is called If It's Red, It's Toxic. That's a guide to see the red flag in the beginning of a relationship. Sometimes we see the red flag, but guess what? We ignore those red flags because down the line, we feel like, oh, it's going to change. I'm going to pray. It's going to change. I'm going to pray. She's going to change. But guess what? Prayer doesn't change everything. Change is a state of mind. Change is when the person admits that I'm wrong, I need to do something. But prayer itself will not change the person. So if you're out there listening to me, if you're out there watching this live, I just want to encourage you that there are still options. Love yourself. Choose yourself. You don't have to be in an abused relationship in the name of what? Kids. Because that is also a mistake that we make as human beings. I'm just going to bear. I'm just going to be there because of the kids. But guess what? When 2 people meet, there are no kids involved first. It's because of love, right? I think that any relationship is built on love, respect, commitment. But if you stay because of kids, which kind of message are you giving to your kids? We have to learn how to break this cycle. We have to be able to say that, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to do something about this situation. I understand. Some of us were trapped because, financially speaking, we are not independent. But when I left my abusive relationship, I didn't even have a bank account. I didn't have a car. But guess what? I have certification. I went to school because I'm in healthcare. I'm a healthcare professional. I studied from scratch. I lived in the shelter with my 4 kids until I start picking up my pieces. So, If you are being abused, talk to somebody. Don't deal with it in silence, because it can destroy your mental. Think about your life. If you bear for the kids, have you ever think that if I stay there for the kids and then I died in silence, or I just died, what's gonna become of your kids? They're gonna have their own life, right? They're gonna lose the parents. Yes, that's true. But it's not gonna stop them from growing up. It's not gonna stop them for having their own life, for moving on. So we cannot stay in abuse relationship in the name of kids, in the name of society, judgment from society, or the pressure from family member. We have to stay. If we're going to decide to stay, we have to make sure that I'm staying by which kind of message I'm giving to my kids. I left because of my kids. I left because of me, because I want to be me. I want to choose me over and over again. This book I'm holding here have my entire story for the 20 years of abuse that I went through in my marriage. So I will encourage you to go on Amazon, grab a copy, read. I will come back with another live. Stay tuned.